The divisional round is here. This is the best weekend of NFL action all year. I'm Kevin Boilard, CBS Sports, and this weekend in particular, no matter what you like, has exactly what you need. Whether you're an old school fan who prefers the hard-nosed, grinded-out rushing attacks, we got 4 of those going head-to-head on Saturday, or if you're more of the modern fan who likes to see quarterbacks air it out, we got 4 of the best passers in the NFL today going head-to-head on Sunday. 8 great teams, 4 ideal matchups, 2 awesome jam-packed days of NFL football. We're going to break it all down straight ahead. All right, so as I said in the intro, Saturday's the day where we're going to see those hardcore rushing attacks go head-to-head, and it starts at 4:35 Eastern time on NBC with the Vikings traveling to take on the 49ers. The player to watch for Minnesota here is running back Dalvin Cook. This dude's an absolute stud. Went into New Orleans last week and carried the ball 28 times for 94 yards and 2 touchdowns in a win over the Saints. And the Vikings are a completely different team when this dude is healthy and in the lineup. They're 11-4 when he's playing and 0-2 this year when he's not. But he's not just a one-man band. The Vikings like to get the ball to other guys, and they're even going to hand the ball off to their biggest stars, Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen. Both recorded at least 1 carry in the win over the Saints in the wildcard round. But the Vikings aren't as diverse as the 49ers, who had the number 1 rushing attack in the NFC this year. San Francisco was the only team with 3 different running backs, each going over 500 yards on the ground this year, between Raheem Mostert, Matt Breida, and Tevin Coleman. That depth at running back is going to be huge for the Niners in the divisional round because Jimmy Garoppolo is making his first start and he's going to need to lean on those backs. And while the Vikings have a pretty strong defense, they're allowing 5.3 yards per carry over their past 3 games as opposed to only 4.1 yards per carry over the first 14. Advantage, 49ers. Okay, if you like commitment to the ground game, that matchup was just designed to whet your appetite because the main course is up next with the Titans at the Ravens at 8:15 on CBS. After the wildcard round, we know the Titans are going to feature a heavy dose of Derrick Henry, who carried the ball 34 times for 182 yards and a touchdown in the win over the Patriots. That was a whopping 73.6% of Tennessee's total offensive yards from scrimmage in that win. Henry effectively hid Ryan Tannehill, who only completed 8 of his 15 pass attempts for less than 100 yards. He was the first quarterback to win a playoff game with less than 100 yards passing since Joe Flacco did it in 2009. But the quarterback on the other side of the ball will be anything but hidden. Lamar Jackson. Not only did he lead the NFL in touchdown passes with 36, he led the NFL in yards per rush attempt with 6.9 and finished 6th in rushing yards with over 1,200 on the ground. And as a result, the Ravens set an NFL record this year with the most rushing yards by a team in a single season, 3,296. They were also only the 7th team in NFL history to feature 2 different 1,000-yard rushers in Lamar and running back Mark Ingram. Now, Mark Ingram's a little banged up, and the Ravens haven't been totally clear about his status for Saturday, but the Ravens have a pretty decent 3rd rusher behind him in Gus Edwards, who went for over 700 yards on the ground this season. You know the Titans' defense under head coach Mike Vrabel is going to bring it for this matchup, but Baltimore's defense has been the best in the league during their current 12-game winning streak. Advantage, Ravens. Those teams are going to be running the ball all day Saturday, but if you're more smitten by a potent passing attack, the fun starts Sunday with Texans at Chiefs, 3:05 Eastern time on CBS. This is Deshaun Watson versus Patrick Mahomes. Bears fans, you may not want to watch. Watson has the best completion percentage in NFL history among quarterbacks through their first 3 years. Patrick Mahomes ranks 3rd. And while Mahomes broke onto the scene last year as the NFL MVP in his first year as Kansas City's full-time starter, the heroics have mostly belonged to Watson this year, who has 6 game-winning drives in the 4th quarter or overtime this year, which is the most in the NFL. Mahomes also hasn't quite been himself lately. He injured his knee in week 7, missed 2 games, then came back in week 10. And since then, he's only had 2 games in which he's thrown for over 300 yards or thrown multiple touchdowns. He's also thrown 4 interceptions since the injury compared to just 1 before. Despite the somewhat tapered passing numbers, Mahomes and the Chiefs are still winning. They're 6-1 since his return in week 10. We know Watson can pull it down and run when there's no one open, as evidenced by his career-high 7 rushing touchdowns in the regular season, plus an 8th in the wild card win over the Bills. But this is a bad matchup for Watson. Buffalo sacked him 7 times last week, and he's been sacked 106 times in the past 2 regular seasons, which is the most in the entire NFL. Meanwhile, Kansas City's defense likes to get after the passer and has really clamped down on the run in the past 6 games. Advantage, Chiefs. All right, last but certainly not least, Seahawks at Packers on Fox to cap off an awesome divisional round weekend on Sunday night. We've got Russell Wilson versus Aaron Rodgers, the 2 most experienced quarterbacks left standing. Both of them have a Super Bowl ring, and they've met in the playoffs before. Anyone else remember the 2014 NFC Championship game? Depending on who you're a fan of, you either remember that as a legendary Seahawks comeback or a historic Packers collapse. Including that game, there have been 7 total meetings between these 2 quarterbacks, and while Rodgers has the statistical advantage in those games, Wilson has the advantage in terms of record. He's won 4 games compared to Rodgers just 3. And this one means a little more because both quarterbacks are going for their 10th career postseason victory. Both guys are known for not just the incredible plays they make, but also how few mistakes they make. Rodgers, who has the NFL's best all-time touchdown to interception ratio, ranked 2nd in that category this year with 26 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. Russell Wilson, by the way, ranked 3rd with 31 and 5. You're not going to fool either one of these passers. They're too experienced. So one of these defenses is going to have to step up and make a play. Green Bay has played great defense over their current 5-game winning streak, creating 9 total turnovers. Therefore, advantage Packers. This divisional round has the potential to be epic. Whether you prefer the grit of a good running game or quarterbacks who can air it out, you're guaranteed to see at least one really good game this weekend. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and share it. Also, drop your thoughts in the comments section on which game you're most excited to watch this weekend. I'm Kevin Boilard. Enjoy the divisional round and keep it locked at CBS Sports.